Hey, Jett Lawrence, obviously Anaheim 1 was a disappointing outcome for you, but how do you kind of process that this week?
You process it and look at it as well. I can be a lot better next weekend, so we have a lot of room to improve on the result standpoint and how the bike was handling. So it's was a bummer, but kind of getting more mature and stuff like that is kind of those ones you just like, shrug that off the shoulder. It's like, it's just bad luck, a bit of silly decision making and stuff like that. With not even, I mean, the start was obviously a bummer, but I think if I didn't make that crash and that final mistake was what really set it back. You know, I was in front of Eli, and either if he got me or if I stayed in front of, I either would have been a 5th or a 6th. So I just looked at one silly mistake, just made it even worse. You know, so we're just looking on to next weekend, just trying to be better. You know.
What was, you know, when you look back at the opener, the lap time seemed pretty good, but was it just a comfort level to kind of repeat those lap in, lap out?
Yeah, so we thought we had the bike in a great standpoint, but we kind of found it had the front especially had a bit of a crust to the top, and then in any heavy impact it would just go straight to bottom. And then the rear was just really stiff and sitting really high, which was not a very good whoop setup for sure. And that's why I think me and my brother struggled the most were the whoops. And normally we're finding them. So and the whoops weren't even actually that difficult. They're actually pretty nice to us, you know. And so it was just more that and trying to repeat that. I tried jumping and I was terrible at jumping also. And rolling and wasn't the option. So we had to try and just get through it. And sadly enough, it was just that one mistake, like I said, of being too close to that tough block and not being able to see it with the lights. You know, like it's kind of just getting used to that again, not seeing that edge and hitting that. I'm like, so it was a bummer, but hey, we got things to learn on. We got to go and test this week, thankfully, and get the bike feeling like in a better standpoint. So we'll obviously see this weekend because we thought the same last weekend, but no, I'm looking forward to this weekend. Hopefully we can just be better.
Last one from me. Is it a straightforward fix? Is it something that you can genuinely come into this weekend or A2 and kind of feel like you'll be in a position of fight, or is it going to take longer?
I think for how many points I'm down, it's going to take longer to get back in that championship fight. I got to make sure I stay perfect for myself and just be best that I can be. You know, I think I almost like this situation a little bit because I haven't been put in this situation, so I get to learn in a scenario that I'm not normally in. You know, and I feel like being challenged and stuff like that, it kind of helps me bring the better version of me out in a way. So I'm looking forward to it. We're just going to focus race by race and just try and be better each weekend.
Hey, Joey Savatgy, you made your return to Supercross at Anaheim 1. Didn't obviously go the way that you would like it, but yeah, just tell us about the opener from your perspective.
Yeah, it was the opener. It was a day full of adventures, I guess you could say. Yeah, I mean, obviously I didn't race last year at all, so I was in the B practice, which makes it a little tough. It's nice to kind of get that push, that forceful push or forceful toe when you're in the A practice with some of these other guys. You know, it would have been nice to get that, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I did the best I could, and we qualified okay. I think we were 13th. Heat race was nothing really that special. I felt I was a little disappointed with it, but yeah, and then the main event was just unfortunate. Went to make a pass on another rider, and I guess we have two different opinions on it, but I went to make the pass and we came together, and yeah, unfortunately his handlebar was stuck in my rear wheel. So for about a lap, we were stuck trying to get the bikes unstuck. And then, you know, like as I was getting the bike up, the leaders were coming by. So when you start the race about 4 laps in, a lap down, it's never what you want. But yeah, it was good it's good to be back for sure. You know, obviously results weren't great, but I was happy to be back, and yeah, I'm looking forward to trying to do better this weekend with a little bit of redemption.
We saw, obviously, you had such a strong off-season, pre-season in Australia, also World Supercross too. So what was the I guess, transition like back to AMA Supercross for you? What was the biggest difference you kind of found? Because even in World, you were solid.
Yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, like the difference is there's just a lot more guys, right? Like, you know, from let's say it was 4th or 5th to basically 13th or 14th was separated by less than a second, you know, and in the other series there's a little bit more of a spread. So when you do have not an off day, but when you have a day that's maybe not your best, you have a little bit more buffer room. And not that my day wasn't going good, I would say it was going maybe average. It's just, again, it's that hard to have leverage when there's that many guys. So do I think maybe the day could have started better? Maybe being in the A practice, I could have got a tow. Could have figured it out maybe a little sooner, maybe. But, you know, I still believe that had we gotten a good start, we could have been, you know, inside the top 10. So I still believe that. I believe in my ability, and yeah, I think that's the goal, is to get through the day uneventful, get good starts, and make it easy on myself, and I think I'll be happy.
How about with the bike? Did you make any further progress during December, or did you learn, you know, take anything away from being back on a full Supercross track? Yeah, we learned a little bit. We did a little bit of testing. I felt like we were in a good place, and there was a few things that maybe we overlooked. We made some small changes this week to see if we can get us pointed in a better direction. And I'm pretty happy with the changes, and I think it's a better move. So guess we'll find out here tomorrow night. Joe Shimoda, yeah, it was a really strong start to the season for you, and obviously to win Anaheim 1 is as big as it gets in this sport. So how is it for you coming into round 2 and having the red plate and knowing, you know, that you started the season so strongly?
No, same thing. I race the treat. I treat the race same way every single weekend. And no, just if I can do same thing like last weekend, it'll be cool. If not, I mean, we just keep moving forward, you know, and then keep pushing. So yeah, we'll see.
Would you say is there any sense of relief to get a win out of the way so early in the year?
Yeah.
Definitely yeah, that good feeling. You could see when you crossed the line as well at the opener, just a bit of emotion there too.
No, for sure. Like, I mean, I would say, you know, starting the season strong was like the more relief than winning the round for me. Just to put myself like giving myself a chance, you know, to fight for. So, no, it was good. It was good.
You're on the new CRF 250, obviously development through the off season. Did you learn much at the opener? Obviously the result was good, so but did you learn much about the bike in that race environment?
No, for sure. I mean, till the heat race, I was honestly riding not that good, and you know, me and team talked and made a change, and then after heat race, I think we made a bike to where I can, you know, push pretty good, you know, like with a good amount of confidence, and no, for the race it was fine. So
it's these early stages of the season, 4 in a row for you. Consistency is important, but so are wins. So is that just the goal to get that checkered flag first each time at this point of the year?
Yeah, I mean,
still the goal.
Yeah, it's each session, you know. Each session we focus and yeah, we have to keep improving.
Hey, Justin Hill, one of the cool storylines of Anaheim 1. Any surprises there at all, or it's been a good off season for you?
Me personally, I'm not really, because I put a lot into it. But it was neat getting a little bit of recognition from everybody on that. You know, showing them my hard work is coming around. Yeah, I tried to put my mind in kind of a position where I think top 10 of the first one would have been great, and I would have been happy with that. That being said, in doing that, I was like, I could have been so much better, you know, but that's just where I'm at. I feel like it's a long road just to get here, so I'm pleased. You know, it's a long off season, it's a lot of work. We've done all of the hardest work. Now it's just getting better a little piece at a time every weekend in these races, because nobody, I don't think, has the opportunity to really prepare for what it's like racing with everybody else, especially with how many fast guys there are this year. So just need to get a little bit better at that. Pass these guys that I'm not supposed to pass and pass them sooner.
Do you enjoy that underdog kind of mentality, the position?
You know, I don't care. If somebody expected me to do something at this point, I would hope they expected it of me because they know I'm doing everything right and trying my ass off. If they don't expect me to do it, I don't really care about that either. I'm out there. I'm out here for my people, for Team Tedder Racing. I'm out here for KTM. I'm out here for Liat. I'm out here for my family. I'm out here for my own reasons. And if it just so happens that nobody sees it coming, neat. Don't really pay much attention.
You've had a lot of success during your career, especially in Supercross, obviously.
You can say it. I'm a specialist. It's fine.
Where would you rate performance like what you had at the opener in terms of your career overall?
It's hard to say because a performance based on where you are, it's only kind of relative to that. So like based on where I am right now in life and in this sport, I don't think I'm going to end up rating it very high by the end of the season. I think I'll have much better rides. But, overall, it's just I'm a here and now guy right now. I'm just trying to plug away. So I'm happy with it as far as it was as good as it was as good as I would have been happy with. And that's about it, though. It's going to hopefully come up from here, and then we can talk in a few weeks, and I'll give you my favorite ride of this year.
Final one from me. You talk about being here for the now and that kind of thing. What about the long term? Where is what you're doing now and part of Team Tedder and got your group behind you? Is that where it's at, or are you still looking for more to kind of move forward in your career again? Potentially factories, or what's the mindset?
This is kind of a loaded question because the trajectory of your career is such a mystery. Like the timing of everything is always such a mystery. But I can say that of my career, I've never enjoyed doing it as much as I enjoy doing it with who I'm doing it with. So it's hard to say what the future holds and how many more years. And I'm not a young man in this whatsoever, and that's part of why I am where I am, is because of that fact. But I've never enjoyed doing it more a different way. And in just the 3 years so far that I've rode for this organization, the Tedder family has been too good to me, and we've become family. So it's a weird question to say what would I do if not doing it with these guys. So I can't picture it because I'm really enjoying this. Not only as a race team and as an effort, but just as an enjoyable time with friends. We're both just the Tedders and the Hills are just moto families to the core. So we mold together pretty good, and I just really enjoy their company at these races. So that's a tough thing to try to foresee. But that being said, I foresee myself pushing the limits of how good we can make our program and how much we can bring to the table, and how much my riding can bring to the table for them. So there's a lot of things that are yet to be seen in what we can do in-house. So there's a lot of exciting things coming up, but none of them really are me planning on going and riding off into the sunset somewhere else.
Yeah, it makes sense. No, it's really good to see, and we look forward to seeing more.
Appreciate it.
Hey, Shane McElrath, you're back in Monster Energy Supercross and back in 450 SX as well. So familiar team for you though. How was Anaheim 1?
Not too bad. We didn't have a lot of time on the 450. Obviously, we raced the WSX and ended. We got home from that like December 10th. So took a week off, and then that following week, so probably like the 17th or 18th of December, we got on the 450, and lately we've just kind of been putting time in, and the American team here is the same as the WSX team, so we got some time with them, and being here on the 450 has been a change and some learning. Like I think I've never really adapted to or transitioned to the 450 as far as racing it. So that's something that we've really been working on, and that's been actually going really well. So I'm enjoying the Quad Lock Honda team. My mechanic Caleb is here from Australia, familiar face there. So yeah, Anaheim was a starting point. It was nothing too crazy and nothing too terrible. So we're excited to build on that this week. We really learned a lot last weekend and kind of got a good idea of, okay, we need to fix these couple things and apply those, and that'll give us a much better shot, and then we'll do that all again. So yeah.
We know how well you adapted to the team and kind of fit in there straight away during the international races.
Yep.
But that, like you said, was on the 250. You're obviously comfortable on the 250. So did that transition, that same positive feeling to the CRF 450 immediately, or did it take some time in terms of the bike setting, that kind of thing?
Yeah, a little bit of both. So I think the 450, we did a little bit with the power, really kind of slowing it down. The bike was really fast when I got on it, and for me, I'm a smoother riding style kind of guy, and so the more aggressive power was a little bit hard for me to ride. So we toned down the power a lot. One of the biggest things is we're doing our suspension in-house in Australia, and it was pretty convenient. Over here in the States, the state side of the team works with factory connection, so that's probably been the biggest change. As far as overall feel, the Honda 450 feels really similar to the Honda 250. I like both of them a lot, and yeah, really just we're working on the suspension right now, getting it set up for racing, and I'm having to learn how the bike needs to be set up for racing also. So definitely learning and growth on both sides, myself and the bike, and yeah, we're ready to keep learning.
Final one from me. I know the goal, we ask this question a lot, but riding in America with this team was the goal for so long. So it came about pretty late. What was that like?
Yeah, honestly, it was, well, still not really finished. My deal with this team came together in about a week and a half last year before I had to leave to go to the first round of the Australian Series. And straight away, Yariv, he was up front with me. He's like, hey, I can't guarantee you anything in America because he already has his commitments. And so we got to Australia. We really enjoyed working with the team, and as far as I know, the team liked working with us. So they've added a spot for me. Right now, we're navigating through that, really trying to be patient with what they can do, what they can't do. They've given me a good opportunity, and they're giving me everything that they can. So yeah, we're excited about this deal right now, and long term, I think we're in a good spot with the team. It's just navigating through this year where they didn't have anything to give us, and we have to be okay with that right now. So yeah.
So is that race to race or still the full Supercross season?
No, right now it's kind of our benchmark is halfway through the season. That will give us time to hopefully put in some good results and also to find some more funding for the rest of the year. So not a tough task to achieve, but we also need to just kind of be present and let the time play out a little bit. So I'll have more information as the time goes on.
Yeah, Vince Friese, the Supercross season started in America, so how many rounds are you doing this year?
We're not exactly sure. We're gonna do the Arena Cross series and then do the Supercrosses that kind of allows, and kind of see how we're feeling, how we're doing, and all that for the later rounds in the series.
How would you rate Anaheim 1? What was that night like for you to open the year?
Yeah, a lot of positives to take from it. I rode good. My speed was good. I was 7, 8, 9 for a long time in the main event. Around the 10, 12 minute mark, I kind of just hit a little bit of a wall. I think I just kind of so used to racing Arena Cross and World Supercross with shorter main events. we went back and worked on that a little bit this week. So I think we'll be a little bit better this weekend, and just try to kind of keep building at these Supercross races we get to do.
We see how much success you obviously enjoy internationally and arena cross as well. When you come to this environment, what's the ultimate goal any given night? What's the target for you? Is there a benchmark result, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to be inside the top 10, but it's really just kind of, at this point, it's just see how good I can be against the best guys in the world. If that equals 5th, that's awesome. If it equals 15th, that is what it is that night. Yeah, I'm getting older. I'm kind of running out of years to do this, so I feel like I'm better than ever. My bike's better than ever. So it's really just, let's see how good we can be on any given night, and this is the place to come test that.
Was it a challenge at all to kind of adapt back to this track, or just second nature?
No, the track was not the hard part last week. I enjoyed that. The bike was working great, all that. It was just that second half of the main event. Keeping that intensity for that whole time was not easy. It's a high level that all those guys are riding at, and they don't stop coming. There's 20 of them out there that are all really good. So I think there's no reason why we can't be up there in the mix, closer towards the front, and we're going to keep plugging away at it.
Jason Anderson, round 2 here at the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship. A solid weekend for you in Anaheim on the podium. How's the week been for you?
Yeah, it was just a normal week. I rode Tuesday, Wednesday here, press day, and just trying to keep the ball rolling.
Is that what it is? It is a sense of keeping the motivation and keeping everything. It's not so much the motivation, but keeping the ball rolling from what's happened at the first round. And is that a confidence thing that sort of happens, or?
To be honest, year after year it changes. Some years I feel awesome and I'm motivated. Some years I'm a little less not motivated, but just sometimes when you get beaten down enough, it's kind of hard to put the work boots on and put your best foot forward. But I think that's where some of the top guys are elite, is they're able to brush it off their shoulder and keep the ball rolling.
Well, in saying that, coming into the first round, was a podium expected for Jason Anderson? Is that what you expected out of yourself, or was it somewhat of a surprise?
Oh, no, I know how good I am. It's just sometimes my execution isn't that good, or, maybe I'm just struggling that day. But as far as like who I am and like how fast I am and my talent and stuff, anytime I'm on the podium, I'm not surprised. But I think in other people's eyes, I think they're for sure surprised,
Is it a sense as well, like through that main event there at Anaheim, was it almost a bit calmer for a lot of it until, what was that main event like?
Honestly, the main event for me was more panic on my front wheel, just because I saw that spoke flailing around, and I mean, it's just scary. You don't want to go out there and your wheel get tacoed when you land off of a triple by any means. So that was probably the toughest part of the main for me. I feel like if I didn't have that, I could have maybe more focused on my riding, and not like my riding was bad, but I started to maybe overthink my motorcycle a little bit.
How early into the main did you sort of pick up on the spoke?
Oh, I mean, as soon as
straight away.
Yeah, straight away. If it wouldn't have been outside of my wheel, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. But it was outside of my wheel. Like even when Kenny passed me, I was like looking at my front spoke, and then he was up the inside. So yeah, it was kind of hard to stay focused. But at the same time, it was kind of nice to have Kenny go by, and I could just try and be as consistent as I could and just run his pace. It's just starting the year off on a podium is really nice.
Hunter Lawrence, Anaheim won in the distance.
Yeah.
Moving on to San Diego this weekend, look, I think it's pretty apparent. We've spoken to Jett about it, spoken to you about it, the struggles of Anaheim. How's this week been?
Good. Week was very productive. We said after the race, had my crash had not happened and Jett got off to a better start, would have been a completely different outcome. So it's like, at the level we race, those are, let's just say maybe it was 1% of the race had have changed and it would have been a completely different outcome. So your 1% off is the difference between a good night on the box or the night we had in Anaheim. So
for you, is it a setup with the bike? Is it reacting differently to what you expect in a race condition? What's the strategy been with this motorcycle? And really, that's the first gate drop you've had on it. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it's obviously our speak for every athlete, during the week why we do so many laps is just to get the confidence in the motorcycle, the repetition, the muscle memory, hey, when the bike does this, I know it only goes to this far, or whatever it is. There's So a bit of, that we struggle with that a little bit, but hey, it's part of racing, man. It's you could twist it and go, wow, it's been how many years that we haven't had a race like that, and it's the first time in our career where we've both been outside the top 10 due to just, not being on it. And I think we've been racing here since 2020, that's a pretty good stat if you turn it that way,
Is it a sense of frustration? Obviously, you see people, when the result isn't there, everyone jumps on a bandwagon of this or that, it could be this. Does that mentally set in even the slightest with you? I know with Jett, it's happy-go-lucky, but I feel like you're a little bit more serious with this.
Yeah, I mean, what they say, they can say what they say. I can't tell people what they should think or what they should say. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, but anyone that really knows and has done this sport before, none of those people are stressed and saying the same thing. What you see on Instagram or social media and stuff like that, talk is talk. It's whatever. It's not real, So as far as we're concerned, mate, I mean, you see it in every sport, Look at the guys in football fantasy. You think they talk politely about their athlete they're betting money on, or an athlete or a team they support, and when they don't deliver, you think they're talking fondly like, better luck next time, we'll get him back? No, it's just, the reflex of the human race. It is what it is.
Awesome. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks, bros.
Thanks, Hunter.
Thank you.
Jorge Prado, round 2 here in the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship. Angel Stadium, it's in the past. How's the week been for you?
It's been a good week. Good riding days. Happy to get some good information after A1 and put it into work during the week. And hopefully we are a better rider this weekend.
What are some of the things you sort of changed after A1? Is learning the bike, learning how it races? What was the week like?
Everything. We learn a lot. We learn a lot about the bike. We learn a lot about racing, about myself. So, we just keep working in the same way we've been doing till now. So I'm happy. Great people around me that's, supporting me, and we are improving every day, little steps, and that's our goal.
Looking back on it now, you've sort of seen it, probably gone back and watched tape. You're happy with A1 and the way it went? There was a lot of, I think there's a lot of boxes you ticked.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I had a lot of positives. Obviously, there is always room for improvement, and obviously in my position, a lot of room for improvement. But like I said, also a lot of positives. So I'm very happy, and we need to keep working, keep racing, and getting the experience we need to, just get better. Looking back on it, things you can sort of change, sort of try a little bit better here tomorrow night. What are some of the things? No, just during the week, we just try to, improve our base setup, and that's what we did. Work on the bike a little bit, work on myself, and that's pretty much it. Brad West, round 2 of the Monster Energy AMA Supercross Championship. San Diego, the second round for you, moving up to the SX2 class. Anaheim didn't really go your way, missed out from, I think it was 1 position. Take us through that experience, and then how much calmer you are coming in round 2.
First of all, I know I got the speed. I know I can be there. It's just about piecing it all together at the end of the day. It's A1 was good, press was good. Still setting the bike up all day, trying to get where I need it to be, as everyone does during the race day. And yeah, honestly, I didn't really struggle a whole lot apart from just my starts and pushing through in the heats and the LCQs. I know I had the speed and I had it there. It's just about adapting and doing it in the race. Is it a sense of, okay, we've got the first one out of the way, into San Diego, a little bit more calmer now, maybe, not the lights of A1, but something you can sort of just start ticking these things off? Is that almost like a sense of calmness today? Yeah, a lot less pressure off my shoulders from A1 onwards now, at least for me. I put in the work during the week, and I've even been progressing during the week, getting faster, knowing how I ride and try not to overthink and just go down and ride and have fun, which changed for me, and that's how I ride the best. Goals coming into this, throughout the season. What's the little goals, and then the major goal there for Brad West? Well, the little goal, I wanted to get in the heats, from the heats to the main. I never want to be in LCQ. That's not a good position to be in. As far as more mediocre goals and medium goals, I wanted to try and consistently be in top 15, top 10, and that's being pretty honest, and I know I can be further, but that's a good spot to start.